This segment is brought to you by White Angel Farms. Heaven sent, earth grown. White Angel Farms. Premium cannabis. Keeping Tony's talk lifted and gifted.
What up? It's Tony's Talk Show Showcase.
Man, that tequila sandwich is delicious, but only when it's served up by Castillo's Cantina. It's worth a shot.
¿Se te antoja deliciosa comida mexicana? ¿Te encanta ver a tu equipo favorito mientras disfrutas de tu bebida favorita? Bueno, vengan a Cendejas Mexican Grill en la ciudad de Rancho Cucamonga, entre Foothill Boulevard y Milliken Avenue, donde todo es hecho con gusto y tradición.
Happy holidays. What's going on, everybody? This is Primo. Huge salute and warm welcome from Tony's Talk Showcase and myself, Primo. We want to thank you guys and let you guys know to enjoy your holidays, cherish your moments with your loved ones, reminisce on your memories, and make new memories. Make sure you get that food, that grub, and enjoy your time with your loved ones and cherish every single moment. Thank you guys from Tony's Talk Showcase. Happy holidays. Stay safe.
Big shout out from Tony's Talk Showcase and your boy. When it comes to the holidays, it's the best feeling in the world when we have family around and our friends. Make sure you guys stay in the holiday spirit from your boy, Tony. Let him know what time it is. Happy holidays. Let's go. Break it up, roll it up, smoke it all the way. Yickety, the yickety, the yickety, 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 yickety.
Yo, what up? It's Frotizzle in the building. Ha. Let's light one up. Tony, what up? What up? We in the building, right? We're gonna do it like this. Tony's Talk, listen up to Tony Talk. Tony's Talk, listen up to Tony Talk. Crack a brew, pull a chair, light it up. Tony's Talk, listen up to Tony Talk. Salcedo, he be the Mexicano. The boss in the building believe that he be El Macho. Interview in the making, the voice of the people. Try to shut the show down, your attempts be feeble. Follow the leader, acknowledge the one with the mic. We can even bring the ladies in and party all night. Pull up a chair, take a seat, broadcast on. Cool as can be when we blast raw rap songs. Roll up a bleezy, how we make it seem so easy. Throw up the PC, West Coast, oh so steez. No joke, in the breeze, palm trees, Venice Beach, OC. Listen up to Tony Talk when he speak. He got your favorite guest, your favorite rapper. He got all of your favorites, your favorite actor. Tony on the talk, Tony Montana. Keep your ears open cause Tony got the answers. Tony's Talk, listen up to Tony Talk. Tony's Talk, listen up to Tony Talk. Crack a brew, pull a chair, light it up. Tony's Talk, listen up to Tony Talk.
Tony's Talk Showcase.
Back to a time when everyone remembered your name. Always coming with the real, I ain't never been a liar. I'm old school like Chuck's on the wire. Sometimes I sit back and reminisce about them old school days. And man, I really miss shooting dice in the alley till my knees got tired. I'm old school like Chuck's on the wire. It all went down on 55th and Main, where I felt all my pain and got all my game. Every time I drive by, still looks the same. Homie, places like that ain't never gonna change. You gotta see what I saw, play where I played, felt what I felt, and lay where I laid. For you to understand the full transition, going to the liquor store was like a life or death mission. ABC Market, yeah, that's where we shop.
Hello.
Hello, Miss Pink LA, how's it going?
Hey, what's up? What is cracking lacking?
Just chilling. Thank you for coming on the show tonight. I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. Pink LA, can you tell the listeners a little bit about who you are and where you're from and all that?
Yes. My name is Pink. Pink LA is the name of my brand.
Okay.
But I'm originally named Pinky Pink. I'm from a graffiti crew called MRL. I am born and raised in LA. I'm a Koreatown original, and I stay in South Central now.
Okay, that's what's up.
Yeah.
Okay, can you tell us a little bit about how you got into the graffiti artist and graffiti and all that?
Yeah. I have a brother that did graph as well, and I grew up seeing him bust on books, and he's a very talented person, and that's my first recall of like being interested in the game and um, growing up. Obviously being from LA, when you're young in your middle school, high school years, that's kind of when it snaps in of like what's your nickname gonna be, and like almost everyone has the experience of like writing your name on the wall or something, even if when you grow out of it or something. But
Yeah.
that's kind of when I started. I was in middle school, and but yeah, definitely my brother was the first person I
That's,
seen. He was my first exposure to the game.
he inspired you, low key.
Yeah, he was my first inspiration. Yes,
Okay,
for sure.
that's badass. And have you always written Pink or Pinky? What was your first graph name?
My name has always been Pinky. Well,
Okay.
it was Pinky at first. So when I was in middle school, all my friends would call me Pinky because I literally would wear pink every day.
Okay.
So like all my accessories, and like I wear my bandanas and like just straight on some Tupac. And
Okay.
so that's where I got my name from. And but when I was in middle school, it wasn't like I was like obviously this badass graffiti writer. I was just like tagging on the bus stop or something,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
or on my folder. But yeah, I was pretty young.
Okay, yeah. You were like a teenager, right? Like, how old were you when you started? And describe a real life situation that inspired you to start doing that.
You know what? I started kind of I started calling myself, and just like I said, just little taggings here and there when I was about like I would say 13, but I started painting with actual like spray cans at 15.
Okay.
And what made it happen for me was where I lived before. I'm from Cape Town, so there was this abandoned golf course like on the corner of like Olympic and Catalina.
Okay.
And a lot of riders will go and hit that yard. The thing about it, it's like we will get buffed and then it'll get burned all over again.
Okay.
But this one time, I remember like there was this it was like just like a glass, like a glass window,
Okay.
and the rider had like climbed all the way up there. It was pretty high. So the rider climbed up there, and what caught my attention was that the way that they painted their bomb, it was from the inside painted backwards.
Okay.
So when you were looking at the glass from the outside part of the building, it looked like you were reading it right.
Yeah, yeah.
And so that like triggered in my head, like it's like a core memory.
Yeah, like it's
When I was
creative.
Yeah, and it said spun, SPUN. So that was the first writer to me that was like, oh, I look up to them.
Yeah, yeah.
When I was in high school, I was 15 years old in ninth grade. I remember talking about that specific writer, and someone ends up saying like, oh, that's a girl.
Oh
And
shit.
it just
Okay.
like it like blew my mind. So ever since then, like Spunna, like my brother introduced me and he inspired me, but Spunna has been like that idol to me, growing up and seeing her all over LA, and knowing that it was a female writer, like that right there to me was everything, growing up. And I always give her props, and every time I talk and I talk about myself and my graph and all my interviews, I've always made sure that I hope she hears me one day.
I
love
was
you
gonna
so
ask you, have you met her yet? Have you got to speak with her yet or no?
I've never met her, bro. And you know what? There's been people around me that have been around her, and like have had the blessing of like being able to meet her and stuff. Or like, oh, dude, like I saw how she looks like, and like I'm like, oh, you guys are so lucky,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and but I've never I know she has her Instagram, but I'm like, damn, I don't want to look like a little lame,
No, I
like I
mean,
want to meet her. I want to meet her organically. Hopefully, one day I'm able to. But
yeah,
yeah, that's
it will happen. That's tight though. That's the question I have too. Like, name like 3 artists that you like or look up to. And Spun is one of them, right?
yeah. Spana is definitely one of them. Um, I have old school people in my life that don't write anymore, but they've up to today I can still say like that's one of my favorites.
Okay.
I have a homegirl. She used to write Innate, and she's one of the first people I seen like with a lot of steez. Being really young and having a lot of style and just a dope flow to her, and like, she's one of the people I've always said like she's one of my favorite ones. And in the present moment, Raquel from MTA crew, she's one of the girls that has been putting work for years. And I really think she's just one of those like girls that's gonna be known for a long time in the game. And I respect her hustle for sure. And then also like maybe just not graph related. I have a new like favorite painter. Her name is Emilia Cruz. I don't know if you know who I'm talking about.
Amelia
Maybe
Cruz sounds familiar, but okay, yeah, that's tight. And what
you
does she
can look
do?
her up. She's very she gives me like Frida Kahlo, like modern time Frida Kahlo type
Okay.
of vibe. She does a lot of like self portraits, and a lot of her paintings are very like the detail of them. You can tell like that she's put a lot of her feelings and her heart into it, and just you can feel the emotion she was probably going through
The
when she
passion
was
behind it,
painting.
yeah.
Yeah, the passion and just like you can tell that she really puts in like her all into these paintings. So
And that's
she's
the
a
one.
new.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
So that's the one thing I've always like struggled with because I always wanted to draw and stuff, but I never had the patience, to
Yeah.
draw because it takes so much time and like just focus to do that. And it's awesome when you get to see, artists like yourself and the other artists you mentioned that they take their time and they make something beautiful. It looks amazing. You're like, damn, like. Especially you being a graph artist and you being an artist yourself, you know how much time it takes you just to do a certain thing on there. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. And you know what? I've had conversations about this before that's very like it's very peculiar with me because whatever I paint on the wall, it's so easy for me. And I think because I've done it my whole life, it kind of just flows out of me.
yeah,
But I don't know how to like sit down and like draw something to that extent, like to the detail, because my focus is not gonna stay there, like it'll leave
yeah,
me.
yeah.
So when I thought about it before, like why is it that when I'm in front of a wall I'm able to do it all together? But I think it has a lot to do with the thrill that I paint with,
Yeah, yeah,
because it's different when you're on a spot and you can't be there too long. You gotta hurry up and go,
yeah,
so
yeah,
I paint with that in my mind, like the thrill, or like I gotta get the hell out of here, and when it comes to artists like the girl I'm talking about, you really gotta sit with yourself and block everything else around you, and really, like you're saying, have the patience and the focus to like get through the whole canvas, and so
yeah,
it's
exactly.
it's interesting to like know the differences in between artists and stuff. So
And that's another question I have is like, what's the type of art form that you most identify with? Is it like graffiti or what type of art?
yeah, most definitely graffiti. I mean, that's
Yeah, yeah,
it's funny because I never even called myself an artist. Like my whole life, I'm like, bro, I'm a vandal. Like I'm a graph vandal, bro. Like I'm
yeah,
not even
yeah,
an artist because like I said, everything I've learned is kind of just out of like thrill. So, but now that I'm older, that I'm kind of like I'm intertwining my skill with different skills. Now I'm like, okay, now I can consider myself an artist because I'm doing much more than just painting on a wall.
yeah, yeah.
So
You got the graphic design for your brand and all that, so that's cool too.
yeah, definitely.
Okay, for sure. What's your favorite artwork that you've created or put up on a wall or whatever?
You know what? I got a couple, and I think they're the ones where I've had certain times in my graph career where I've done something so many times where I'm like, okay, I need to switch up,
Yeah,
or I need to learn a new anything, just even a fill in, a new letter form, or anything like that. So I think when I go through those like little thresholds of like progressing and adding more skill to what I already know, those are the art pieces that I can say like the first time try, and
Yeah,
like
yeah.
being able to actually execute what I had in my mind. So I have a couple paintings here and there that I know I've taken my time and like really put a lot of thought into it, and really thought out the color schemes and stuff like that. So when I was living in Texas, I had a lot of time, so I would always paint, and I think that was when I was more like more involved and like progressing and learning how to paint better and better. So
Yeah, yeah.
so I don't have one specific one. I love all my paintings, but
Okay.
but,
Okay, that's
but
cool. I
yeah.
like how you explained that though. Yeah, like it's always badass when it's like an experimental like artwork because you're learning something for the first time, and then once you're able to do it and you see how it comes out pretty badass. You're like, damn, you're proud of yourself because you're like, that was something I never knew how to do, and I ended up doing it, and it came out great. So that's cool.
Yeah, definitely. You kind of little tap in the back.
Yeah, exactly. Like keep going, keep going.
Yeah, you got this,
You
bro.
got this. That's funny. Uh, what's one of the most memorable responses you've had to any of your artworks?
um, man, I feel like when last year I last year in I think it was July
Okay,
or June, I remember. But I did an art show, my first art show,
okay.
and I kind of displayed a lot of I displayed the stuff I've done, and just overall, I think that's one of the experiences I've been through where I was able to see everything come into like fruit, like everything just
Fruition, yeah.
yeah, like into fruition, and me seeing it, like me seeing everybody that was there and like that support me for my bullshit, for my art,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
just being able to like curate something like just that in itself to me was like a a big experience to me because I kept myself behind the scenes for so long, and obviously because I am a grapher, like it's something that every grapher carries themselves with. Like you can't be seen, people can't see how you look like, and
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
you gotta keep in incognito and all this stuff. So incognito. So me coming out and actually having this great outcome to the show, and like everybody coming up and showing support, it was pretty amazing to see. That like wow, like people really do fuck with me.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Like
you see the support you had. Like you see how they're
y-
all there to support you and
y-
motivate you.
yeah, the real life support, because on Instagram and social media, like anybody can support you through the phone, and
Yeah, exactly.
but when they're out there in real life and they're coming out here to like see who you are, or like catch the vibe and stuff, and give out good positive energy, that's kind of like all right, like they see me for who I am, and it was a good experience to acquire,
That's badass. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I remember I had my first art. I went to my first art gallery for photography because I do photography as well. I did a art gallery. It's called the Woka Art Gallery in I think it's in Anaheim. And I
hmm
remember I printed out a bunch of pictures, and then I ended up taking like probably like 5, 6 frames of pictures and stuff like that. And one of the pictures I had, which is the one that I thought was gonna be like the most like frowned upon, was a picture I took of a marijuana leaf, and like I
yeah.
kind of added an effect to it, and that's the only one that sold. And I was like, oh man, that's crazy. Like I thought that was like the least one that would sell, and it's the one that got the only one that sold. So
Wow.
so I feel I know how it is when you have the art shows, the art galleries are pretty badass, and especially
Yeah.
when you got your people going out to support you, like you said, the real life support. They're out there in person, spending their time with you and checking on your stuff. So that's pretty cool. Um,
Yeah, that happened to me too. I remember I did I was part of a show called Mid Wilshire, and everybody had painted on skateboards.
nice.
And one of like the arts that I've done like on canvases and just different items is the Pac-Man scene. And so what I do is that in the Pac-Man scene, since Pink is in there,
Yeah.
and you know how like where the Pac-Man is going around when it's gonna get eaten. So those little squares, I spelled out Pinky on the board, and then the rest of the board was like the actual game. And so I was like, I wasn't feeling so confident about the board. I was like, man, it looks whack, and like I should have done better, could have done better, whatever. And it was literally like within like the first hour that we opened up the show, the board sold, and it was like, oh shoot, like I did not, and it was like I did not think that was gonna happen. I'm over here like frowning up on my own stuff, and somebody walked in there and said like, oh, that's the one I want,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I was like, oh, that's pretty cool, Sometimes it's like that, the least expected, and
Yeah, we're harder on ourselves than anybody else, So that's true.
yeah, definitely, yeah.
What's one of your dream projects that you would like to do, or what's a spot you would like to go tag up if you could?
Um, well, I mean, I think I've tagged out the spot.
You got them all
But
done already.
you know what? I don't think I have a spot I wanna in my mind that I wanna be like, oh, maybe some billboards. But
Okay,
sometimes
yeah.
I'm like, I'm too scared to be climbing all the way up there. Like
Yeah,
the air's
yeah.
gonna blow me down or something.
It takes a lot of it
But
takes a lot of courage for some of these artists, graffiti artists and all that, go up there and put a plaque. It's pretty. It's like, you look at it, you're like, damn, how they get up there? And like, there's like a
and,
small little
and there's
ledge
some and there's some fools out here like
hanging
they even
themselves.
huh
They'll be like hanging themselves off of stuff and stuff like that. So
man man, so some of these fools are super down, and it's like you really are dedicated and you have a lot of like I know you go to the gym.
and
So
it's
you're
like,
up there all comfortable.
yeah, and it's like you say, like, how you'd always like to put placking up on the wall, 'cause just for the thrill and the experience. Like you're not supposed to do it, and like, I feel like they get a big thrill, like of putting a plaque on somewhere that's like no one else could get to, or they'll risk their life to get
Yeah.
up there.
Yep. And then like some of these fools when they go up onto the billboards, they'll do even like they'll go catch like a dope movie one and they'll intertwine it with their piece. So like I think I seen the Venom one. I think it was Solder the one that did it, but he made it a part of the billboard, so it looks super sick, and yeah, those are I would love to do one of those, but I'm not there yet.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen some stuff like that where they intertwine the billboard with the art. They design the art around that. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I've seen that before.
Yeah, definitely. But I feel like right now, like brand wise, I do have a couple goals I want to accomplish. I know that in like short term, I want to do my next art show. So I'm already plotting and kind of just writing everything down, aligning everything, manifesting, and hoping that everything's gonna come out good. So when it's the time, I get to do everything. But that's one goal I want to reach right now. And then I don't know. Long term, I have a lot of goals, but I think one of the most important ones for me is to like, I want to be able to be in the same room as like this big top notch brand companies. Maybe I want to be in the room with Born and Raised, and
Okay.
just like just this Carrots by Antoine. Like, just I want to be able to be in the room with these same people, and talk and like learn new knowledge, and those are my goals. Those are my goals.
That's badass. That's what it's all about. Go and get, just put, doing what you love, getting your merchandise out there, getting your artwork out there, and going to the same events as those people, and networking with different people and stuff like that. You'll definitely be able to be there one day, with the rest of them. So that's pretty badass. Um, can you describe your very first piece you ever did?
Man, you know what? The first time I ever painted with a spray can was on the freeway,
Okay.
and this was a very long time ago,
Okay.
like 2005.
Yeah, yeah.
2006, 2005. But yeah, that thing was pretty toy. It was just like it's just a bunch of scribbles and scrabbles. There's nothing crazy.
Okay, that's cool.
But definitely, I think about all of the just the progress I've made, and there's so much more to learn all the time, obviously, but I know for a fact that I'm glad that I didn't stay in the same place, because there's a lot of graphers that just stay in the same place. Like they never learn. They're just running the streets. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
They're
yeah,
just
exactly.
running the streets and painting. There's nothing else to it. There's no goals. There's no motivation. It's just them probably just venting to the streets. Because a lot of it, that's what it is. It's just
It's an expression. Yeah.
Graffiti is an outlet. Yeah, it's an outlet. And I think that a lot of that too, when I was younger, because growing up, I grew up in a Christian church, and I was always kind of just boxed in, and
Okay.
in a little safety box, and like church 6 days a week. And so when I started painting, and when I decided, I kind of just rebelled out. It
Yeah.
was a
Yeah.
full rebellion for me. Like, I want to paint the streets because you don't let me do anything, and like
Yeah.
now I'm gonna do it all. And there was no like, there was no gray. There was no gray. It was either black or pink for me. So it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Exactly.
so
Yeah.
I
Especially
just I
especially
so
especially like back then, it was it wasn't as accepted as it is today.
Oh, definitely. And then social media wasn't out here like that either.
Yeah.
So, and it really was just on some some street shit. You and your homies, and
Just on the
like you and your day,
freeways. Yeah.
yeah, you and your day ones having some fun, and like be a ver si puedes, and like, and
Yeah.
when you were
Exactly.
able to do it, it was like, oh, for you're down, and so for me it was cool because I feel like obviously like I was the only girl all the time, and with all my homies, and like painting, and like I'm over here acting like a boy,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
this is that my whole life has like, it's like a blessing and a curse, so, but it's just things I've had to deal with, and kind
No.
of just worked around, and
And that's the beauty of it, the whole process, the whole journey. That's it got you to where you're at today. And now today, you started your brand, Pink LA. You're gonna put your merchandise out there. You're doing different events and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. You know what I mean? It's badass that you're. Thank you, Pink. For becoming. Being a part of the show tonight. It was pretty cool. We're gonna share your artwork throughout the week as well on Instagram and all that, so people who tune into this can check out your artwork as well and all that, your graph and all that.
that's great. Thank you very much.
Can you describe your most recent piece you did?
Yeah, just last night actually.
Okay.
I went to go paint last night. I just went to go paint like this wall right here, and I had a misunderstanding with I had the painting, and somebody went over me, and I got the spot back, and I hit the person up, but it was a misunderstanding between like them and I, so I kind of just had to apologize, and all right, my bad, bro, just get your spot back. but
Okay.
but yeah, so and then I also did one like a couple days ago también. You know what, now I feel like a lot of the paintings I do, um it's more like, because I'm older now, I'm a mom now,
Okay.
my life changed obviously
Yeah.
once I had
Yeah.
my baby, and I had to like learn how to navigate through me, like going from this girl that likes to paint, that loves to paint on the street, and I had to learn how to like navigate from that to being a mother. And before my child, graffiti was my child,
Yeah. Yeah.
so it was like, now I have to schedule myself, like plan everything out. Number one, knowing that for 100% sure I'm gonna come back home, that I'm not gonna get caught,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that I really do my homework now. I can't be running the streets how I used to, because I have a lot to lose. So
Yeah.
that's a big part of like um female writers. It's like when you're young, we don't got kids, it's cool. For fools, it's not the same, because you could have fucking 5-6 kids, and your baby mama's gonna be home taking care of them while you're
Yeah.
out here painting.
Yeah. That's true.
And
Yeah.
even if you get caught up or you go to jail, you're still gonna your kids are gonna be safe. They're gonna be taken care of. But for us girls, it's not the same. We gotta be really careful. So now, it's one of the reasons why I kind of stemmed out into doing merchandise, because I still want to be creative. Like, I can't just put my creative mind to sleep. There's no way I was gonna do that. So it was like, I need to find a way where I can channel out the urge to create and do something. So that's why I decided to start doing my merch. But there's always that itch on my finger of like, I need to spray paint. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I could go like a couple weeks, but then I'm like, oh damn, like I'm complaining about it. Like, dude, I gotta paint. I gotta paint.
Yeah.
Like, I gotta go paint. I cannot not paint. So a lot of the missions I do now, I do them by myself. Like I've learned how to paint by myself and how to look out for myself. I don't paint. I don't surround myself with a lot of graphers like that for the same reason. I gotta protect my energy, protect my space. And
Exactly. Yeah.
so a lot of it I do it on my own. So I if you look at my if you keep up with me or what I do, you always see like I do a lot of morning missions where I'll find abandoned spots and make sure that I'm gonna be okay, and I'll go in there and just spend some time on a wall just so I can get the itch away.
Yeah, exactly. And now they have also like spots where they allow you to go plaque up, right? No.
Yeah, but it's not the same.
It's not the thrill.
It's not the same thrill.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's also times where like if I'm I have little homegirls. Like I've had people like I have moms hit me up sometimes and like, hey, my daughter wants to learn how to paint. Can you like teach them? So
that's tight.
There's certain times I've done that where like I'll grab a homegirl's daughter and I take them to Venice, and you know what I'm saying? Just to take them under my wing in that way. But if I don't have to paint legally, I won't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's cool though, and that's what it's all about. You're a true graphic because that's the whole thrill of it. That's how you got started. That's what, so that's pretty badass though. But you know what, Pinky Pink, I appreciate you for being on the show tonight. You have anything you would like to say to the listeners out there before we get out of here?
I just want to give a shout out to Mike Uno for connecting us and for looking out for the new opportunities. Give a shout out to Green Ave. Who's the production people that are literally helping me from the idea all the way to executing all kinds of advertisings and promotions and
nice.
So just shout out to everyone who supports me and to the new people that are gonna support me and to the ones that don't también, I'm hoping that all of this hard work and the work that I'm putting in, that I'm not just hoping, but I also know that it's gonna work for me, soon. So, thank you for having me, bro, and I appreciate you.
All right, for sure. I appreciate you, Pink. You have a great night. We'll be in touch.
Okay, too. Bye. Bye.
I canvas to paint my life over wax and stamp it. Cutthroat, probably up close, puffing blunt slow, flipping wild for my pinky still stuck inside your girl's butthole. Ha, streets are watching like creeps walking, so keep talking. I'ma keep dropping this heat with every beat knocking. Don't get played like Dreamcast, gotta think fast. I'ma cheat fast with a free pass, so don't be mad. Shit, I leave broken back with bundles of cash. My kids think I know magic shit was under the stash. I live my life fast, keep my ride on the slow lane. If a car passes by twice, gotta switch your whole frame. Shit, I start a Hollywood rumble for all my people dodging court dates, cutting off ankle braces, they can't contain us. Give a fuck what they talking about, I'ma crop them out, then probably stomp them out with steel toe boots, then cross them out. Fuck them.
Tony's 42.0, PUSO 82.3 FM. Tony's Talk.
Paramedics worked feverishly on one of the unidentified victims. Meanwhile, down the street on Ward Avenue, the elephant was running free, being chased by police driving their Cushmans and openly firing on the animal.
Well, this elephant came from behind and he started going crazy, and there was a guy who tried to stop him and the elephant knocked him down. And then this other guy came from the side and knocked him down too.
Tony. Yo, Tony. The fuck?
What up? It's Tony's Talk Show Showcase.
Man, that tequila sandwich is delicious, but only when it's served up by Castillo's Cantina. It's worth a shot.
¿Se te antoja deliciosa comida mexicana? ¿Te encanta ver a tu equipo favorito mientras disfrutas de tu bebida favorita? Bueno, vengan a Cendejas Mexican Grill en la ciudad de Rancho Cucamonga, entre Foothill Boulevard y Milliken Avenue, donde todo es hecho con gusto y tradición.
Hey, yo, Tony, how'd you know the streets needed you, my dude? That's right. When we in the streets and we just cruising, yeah, we bumping Tony's Talk, yo.